to Know 360. Listen, before we even go to the introductions, I have to address just a couple of things. One, Jamie just started the show early, so I said a couple things, and then she said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, sorry, we didn't start yet." So, but secondly, I want to talk about the salsa issue because two people here in the office have written down something about me getting salsa on my white coat, so I just want to set the record straight and tell you what happened. First of all, if I was wearing regular clothes, literally, I could be in a salsa food fight and just walk through completely unscathed. No salsa whatsoever. But the second I put this completely white jacket on, if there's salsa within 5 feet of me, it just comes to me. I don't know what it is. Before the last show, we were like just minutes away from airing, and I looked over and the salsa right there. And we had the Tide pin out, and we're trying to get it. So anyway, that's what happens. I don't know why, but salsa just is attracted to the all white. I don't know why chefs decide that they're going to wear all white because it is attracted to that. So anyway, folks, my name is Tim Bush. I'm the Vice President of Sales for 360. We're so glad that you're here, and we're excited about the show we have tonight. Handling all your questions, putting you up on camera, putting the recipes up on there, and making sure that I stay on the straight and narrow is Jamie Robinson. And say hi, Jamie.
Hi, Jamie.
Okay, that's the way it's going to go tonight. Based on some feedback that we got off of our last show, some of the viewers felt that it was fun for me to talk to Jamie because we would have this banter going back and forth, but that y'all couldn't hear her, and so it wasn't any fun for you. And so we definitely wanted it to be fun for you too. So that's why she has a mic tonight, and you'll be able to hear her be a smart aleck.
Nice.
I wanted to give a shout out to anybody that's on the show tonight that was here last month, where we did our Southwest omelet. Hopefully you got a chance to get the 8.5-inch fry pan, and you were able to try the Southwest omelet or do the Southwest omelet. I have to tell you that after cooking it that night, the entire office, made me cook omelets for everybody on that Friday. So I got Thursday, and everybody said, "Hey, by the way, you're cooking breakfast on Friday." So here I was back at the table Friday morning. You might have even seen, I think Jamie put it up on Facebook, that we had a little omelet fest. So hopefully you got a chance to try that, and we're glad that you're back for this next installment. I also want to give a shout out to anybody that's participating tonight that received their pans as a result of being on the Doctor Show. We were a sponsor of a recent Doctors show that aired recently, and we gave out some coupons that people could come and get pans. Gotta take a breath. Too excited. And a lot of the people from the Doctor Show ended up getting this exact pan, the 3.5-quart saute pan, which is the one that we're going to use tonight. So we're super excited about that, and that you're going to get a chance to see a great recipe in the pan that you just got. So welcome to the folks from the Doctor. All right, a couple of housekeeping things about Spreecast. You are currently on a live Spreecast presentation. You may have never heard of Spreecast until today or until you came to sign up for the broadcast. But Spreecast is, it's not super new, but it's new to a lot of people. But as you can see, it's a great way for people to get live content out to the masses in a super fun and interactive way. And a couple of things that you need to know. So I'm not sure if it's on this side of your screen or this side of your screen, but there's a live chat feed. Am I good? Mm-hmm. There's a live chat feed, and you can, just tee up any topics you want in there. And we have people on from Spreecast, we have people on from 360 that will help answer your questions and keep the chats going there. It's a good place just to comment on stuff that you're seeing and ask any questions. Now, if you want to ask an official question, there is a button down here or down here. I might have them mixed up, but it's the blue button that says ask a question. Bam, you hit that button, that question will go to Jamie. She'll put it up on the screen, and I can answer it because I'm sure if you're asking it, then everybody else is wanting to know some of the same questions. And then lastly, there's, whichever one it was, there's another button that says put me up on camera. So if you're not in your jammies yet, then go ahead and slap that button if you have a question you want to come up on camera. and that way I get a chance to see who you are and we can chat live, then go ahead and do that, and Jamie will make that happen. All right, so just like last time, I do have one confession and I do have one statement to make. The confession is that I'm not a real chef. Well, let's just say I don't get paid to cook food, but I do love to cook. I cook every single day, and I use, of course, 360 pans, but I wanted you to know that really I'm just like you. I go into the kitchen at home. I need to prepare meals to help out the family. My wife and I kind of split those duties. And luckily for me, I get to do it because that's what I love to do. But I'm not a professional chef by any means. I do get to wear the cool chef jacket, though, that's also on it less than 10 minutes ago. And the statement. Okay, the statement is that this is a live broadcast. There's no part of this broadcast that's taped. Everything is happening right now at 6:06 East Coast time. For those of you who are huddled in front of your computer on the West Coast, maybe that's still at work. We're sorry that you're still at work, but we're going to try to make this as quick as possible for you so you can get back to it. So on a live broadcast, as you know, anything and everything can happen and probably will happen, which is why we're doing it live. We want you to know kind of how the process works if you're doing it in your own home. And just so you know, for future broadcasts, if you have the pan that we're going to be working with, totally great. If you put your laptop up in the kitchen and you want to cook right along with us, that would be great. But we're going to run into the same issues that everybody does when they're cooking. So hopefully everything will run smoothly tonight. I'm counting on you guys to make that happen. All right, so because this takes a little bit longer than omelets, we're going to start the demo faster than we would normally start it. Normally I would get into who 360 is and what we're going to do and this and that and everything. But I need to get this stuff on the burner so that we can get it started. So I'm going to jump right into the demo. What we're cooking tonight is a tilapia dish. It's all in one pan, and it is super quick and super easy and super healthy for you. And I know what you're saying. You're saying, okay, quick, easy, and healthy, I don't know, that equals nasty. This is anything but nasty. If you're one of those people, you come home from work, you're thinking, you know what, maybe I should just pick up fast food for the family because I'm tired and I'm spent and I just can't do it. This is the recipe for you, okay? Because you really, I'm going to show you how easy it actually is. So we're going to get started. Okay, salsa, look at that. Salsa. Oh, look at that. Jamie's put in 16 ounces of fresh salsa. Look at that. That's nice. All right. What do you have to do with this? Nothing. Pour it in the pan. All right. So I do move it around a little bit to kind of get it all evened out. Then what we have is we have spinach. I use baby spinach. Everything that I use, I try to make it organic. You don't have to do that if you don't want to, but that's what we try to do. We're going to sprinkle the spinach in, try to cover the whole pan with it. If this is your meal, so however much spinach or not as much spinach as you want to put in there is totally fine. I tend, when I make this at home for my family, I tend to put a little extra spinach in there just because we all like it and it's a good source of protein and iron.
And it cooks down.
That's right, and it cooks down. Listen, Jamie, you're on the mic, so you can speak up. She said, folks, that it cooked down, and she's right. It's going to get a lot less. Now, we're going to go ahead and corn. Now, the corn and the beans is something that you can regulate also. If you like corn a little less or you like beans a little bit more, you can put as little or as much of that as you like. Today, we have a little bit more corn than we have beans, but we're going to try to spread it around. It's already starting to look very colorful, as you can see. All right. So now what I have here is, I don't know if you can see these. We have two tilapia fillets. Now, what I generally do when I do this at home is I'll cut these up to make 4 fillets. So I'll kind of cut them down the center here and make two pieces, but I'm just going to leave these whole for the purposes of this demonstration. We're going to throw those in there. Looking beautiful. Are you guys getting hungry? This is going to start to smell in just a couple of minutes, and everybody here is going to start to get hungry. So, all right, so the only seasonings you need for this dish are salt, pepper, and smoked paprika. Now, right now in my backyard, I have some really great oregano growing back there. I have some great basil. So I might chop that up and throw that in here as well. Don't be shy. You can do whatever you can add to whatever you want. But the recipe really only calls for salt, pepper, and smoked paprika. It's irritating me with my pinching, so I'm just gonna get in there and get a little more aggressive with it. There you go. Salt. Now, Jamie, because I've been preparing this and I made it here in the office a couple times, Jamie likes a bit more salt than I do, so she added salt to hers later after I cooked it. But, and don't be afraid, you can get it all the way around too, don't worry about that. Now, me personally, I like a lot of smoked paprika on mine. You may not like it as much, or the kids may not like the paprika taste, so you're just gonna have to, I don't know, to see how that goes the first time. So you might want to be a little lighter on it the first time than you would later. The cool thing about this dish is also you can season each of the fillets differently. So just remember who's who, you know, when it's all all right, paprika all over. All right, so that's okay. I know you're waiting for the whole rest of it. That's it. Okay, so you get home, bam, you throw some salsa in, you put some spinach, you put some corn, you put some beans, you put the tilapia fillets on there, you season them a little bit, and you're done. Okay? Now, the magic is about to happen. We're going to put this on. Now, you start in a cold pan here. One of the things that's different about this, we are cooking a protein, but we're also cooking vegetables too. So we're going to start in a cold pan. You put the lid on, and you put it on the burner. You're going to put it on medium. Okay? Now, what we're going to do is we're going to do a couple things. We're going to let this get to vapor seal, okay? And we're going to know that that's happening because we're going to start to see steam escaping from it. Jamie's going to keep an eye out for that. Once that happens, we're going to spin the lid, and what that does is it drags the water seal all the way around the rim of the pan so that it's distributed evenly. And then we're going to reduce the heat to low. And when you reduce the heat on a 360 pan, it's going to pull that lid down, and it's going to make it like a small little convection oven. So you can cook healthier, you can keep the nutrients in your food, and you can use less energy. So we're going to turn it down to low for just 2 minutes. And it's going to pull that lid in, and after those 2 minutes are over, we're going to actually remove it off the heat altogether. We're going to put it back on the table. We're going to let it go for another 5 minutes or so, and it's going to be done. So just think about this. You're tired. You've had a long day. The kids are yelling. Everything's going crazy. And how fast is it to throw some stuff in a pan, and in less than maybe 15 minutes, you have a dinner for all four, or you want to put extra tilapia in there, you can, and it's for 6 or 8 or however many people. But that's how easy it is, and it's delicious, okay? I am going to also tell you something, because this is a picture of it right here. I don't know if you can see this. It looks just super beautiful. But when you do it yourself, I'm going to warn you, there's a lot of moisture in the salsa. There's a lot of moisture in the corn. There's a lot of moisture in the fish, and it will get a bit soupy in there. So if you're doing it at home, don't worry. You pull off the lid and you look at it. Oh my gosh, it's a little bit soupy. Don't worry. It's supposed to be like that, and it's going to be fantastic. You're going to love it. Woo! All right. So this is on. We're waiting for it to get to where it needs to get. I'm going to tell you a little bit about. Before I do that, I also wanted to mention. We had a question before we even started, right, Jamie? We had somebody was asking.
Robert.
Robert was asking, what other one-pan dishes do we have? Well, Robert, just to answer that, this is our cookbook right here. And the first time I saw this cookbook, it turned to the tilapia page. First time I saw this cookbook, I was like, it's broken. It's got a big crease down it. The manufacturing was off. See this? It's got a crease right here. Little did I know that that's designed so that when you put it out, it bends right there, so you can just set it right on your. Look at that! How cool is that? That's Jamie Robinson at her best right there, folks. But we also have something called chicken in a pot. It's a whole chicken in the forecourt, stock pot. We also have lasagna. That's a one-pan meal. And there's a bunch of other one-pan meals in the cookbook. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to pick this up. Super good value online. And it's broken down by the different pieces of cookware and the different types of recipes, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner, soups, and the like. So it's a great resource. I also wanted to mention, if you want to see this recipe, also you can find it online. You just go to 360cookware.com, type in tilapia, boom, it's going to be right there. And a lot of other recipes and videos as well. So unlike maybe some other websites that you've been to, 360cookware.com is a super interactive site that you can have a lot of fun with. You can get on there, and there's a lot of resources there. We try to interact with our customers as much as we can. All right, so who is 360? Why are you here? What makes us different?
I didn't.
It's messing me up. You're messing with me. Our products, by the way, so American made, American owned, which is important. A lot of companies will say they're American made, but they're owned by a foreign company, American made, American owned. We're produced in a green factory, okay? And I'm going to tell you, that just doesn't mean that we throw away our cups into a recycle bin, okay? When we say that we're green, we really mean it. Our entire factory is powered by wind power, okay? That's what we use. We use wind power. We use no harsh chemicals in the making of our cookware. I don't know if you know this, but to get that nice, get that beautiful shine on stainless steel cookware, some nasty chemicals are generally involved. Masks are used, big vents, no windows. We don't do that. At 360, at the plant in West Bend, we have a dry sanding process. And the harshest detergent we use is maybe just a little bit less harsh than you would use to do your dishes in the sink. And then we filter that water when it leaves. So we leave absolutely no environmental footprint at all. We just received a commendation by the EPA, only commendation ever given out to a company. Normally they're giving out citations, but we received a commendation. If you're ever in West Bend, you don't need an appointment. As long as it's through, don't come by knocking at midnight. Nobody's going to come around. But you don't need an appointment. Come by, talk to anybody at the plant. They'll give you a quick tour. We're always ready to receive 360 customers and show them what we do. Okay, and I doubt we could say that for any other cookware manufacturer. But please, if you're in the area, definitely come on by. So, American made, American owned, green factory, no environmental footprint. Now, we were just at the Houseware show in Chicago last week, and I just heard it. We're getting close. We were just at the Houseware show in Chicago last week, and here our booth is in a sea of cookware. I mean, if you've ever been to the Houseware show, you know that it's just a gather. It's a I'm using all kinds of. It's a lot of cookware. Okay. And so everybody that came by our booth simply said the same thing. What makes you guys different? What sets you apart? Well, the American made, American owned, the green factory, we threw that out there. That was fantastic. The dry sanding process that I mentioned, the way we use no chemicals, it has a super big benefit that you're going to love. It allows us to get a finer finish on our cookware, and which allows the food to release from it easier. Some of the big questions people have when you can speak, you have a mic. Oh, we have vapor, folks. So what we're going to do, can they see that?
There you go, a little bit more.
That's right. So we're going to spin the lid. You might see the lid spinning. It's spinning freely like a top. Okay? That's dragging that water seal all the way around, and now we're just going to reduce it to low, all the way down to low. And Jamie's going to time it for us. We're going to do 2 minutes at low, and then we're going to move it off of the heat. So back to the pan. The sanding allows a finer finish. I know my biggest fear when I started using this cookware was the amount of time I was going to have to put into scrubbing it to get it clean. And I have to tell you, the first time I cooked chili in the four-quart stock pot, it was just a disaster. It was so messy. And I took it to the sink. I started rinsing it off, and the chili was just literally falling off. It was so impressive that I told my daughter, I said, Jordan, run, get your camera. We're going to video this. And you can even see that video on YouTube, and along with a couple other videos that I did on stuff that we cooked at the house that just came out great. Still to this day, I can't believe how easily the product comes up. So that's one of the great things. Secondly, I don't know if you can see it. I'm going to put it close to the camera. This is the thickness. We're a 110 gauge thickness gauge all the way around. Some people you'll hear talk about layers or, oh, that's a 7-layer, 3-layer, 5-layer. Really, ultimately, what matters is gauge. How thick is the pan and how thick does it stay all the way around? So we're a 110 gauge from the very bottom to the very lip. We don't thin out as we get close to the top. And what's important about that is we, because we're thick, the heating is very universal, so that as we turn down the heat, like we just did here, and it pulls that lid in, that's what allows for the convection part of it. That's what allows for the sides in, top, bottom up, top down heating that is going to allow your food to cook faster on less heat. Now the key, folks, to cooking healthy meals, I don't know if you know this, stop killing your food. People are cooking their food too hot for too long, literally just killing it, all the nutrients. When you're cooking vegetables, you're boiling it in water, you're steaming it, and you dump out that green water, that's all the nutrients that's going down the drain. It's not staying in the food. That's why when you taste the food, you taste it and you say, this doesn't taste that good.
You can take it off the heat.
What?
You can take it off the heat.
All right. Taking it off the heat. All right, let's move this camera. So your vegetables aren't tasting that good. They don't smell that good. They don't look that good. All the key things that we need to be able to feel good about the things that we're eating, smell, taste, and sight, it's just not that great. Let me give you a good example. With asparagus, my daughter only would eat the little head of the asparagus, little tips. And but when we cook it in the 3.5-quart saute pan, she will eat the whole stock, the whole thing. And that's because it tastes good. It looks good. It's not stringy and falling apart because the nutrients are all still there. So that's part of what happens here with the thickness. Now, we have a full line. You can go to 360cookware.com. We have a full line of cookware from 1-quart saucepan all the way up to a 16-quart stock pot. We have bakeware. We have slow cookers, which are one of our hottest items right now. So there's, by the way, are you taking 5 minutes off the, not taping it, but 9 minutes?
10 minutes.
Okay. Sure. So we're not just, we don't just have a couple of pans and then we kind of leave you wanting so that you have to build a set with multiple different kinds of programs. We have everything that you would possibly need. Now, how does the waterless feature, how does the vapor technology really work? Okay, you can see, I don't know if you can see that, the pan, instead of, the lid, instead of sitting on top, sits down inside the pan. It's that lip, along with the gauge of the overall pan, that's kind of the genius behind the vapor technology. It allows, once you put that water seal all the way around, that's what allows it to really pull down. I have to tell you that I was practicing in a kitchen, right on the other side behind the camera is an actual kitchen. And the other day I was practicing this dish, and I was using a different burner, and as I reduced the heat, it reduced so fast, the lid pulled down. I could actually lift the whole pan with the lid on. That's how tightly it pulled down. Now, key thing, let me tell you, if that ever happens to you to the point where you can't get it off, don't panic, and don't think that you need to cool it down. It's not you need to cool it down. You just need to heat it back up just a little bit, and the lid will come off. Also, don't ever set your lid down after you take it off the pan. Don't ever set it down flush on a glass.
On a counter.
On a counter or glass
anything.
top rake. Okay, because it will suck down onto that, and then it could, if you try to pry it off with a crowbar or something like that, it could cause damage. So always tilt your pan, as you'll see when I take this off, tilt it so that it doesn't create that seal. Just a tip for you based on feedback that we've had from our customers. All right, what do we have left?
Minute.
So we have a minute. Do we have any questions that we can take during that time?
Gotcha.
Nothing yet?
They're really
Questions,
quiet.
folks, come on. I know that you guys are wondering something. I know you're wondering what's underneath here. It's going to look awesome. It's going to taste awesome. It's already smelling awesome. We've all had tilapia in the office a couple of times this week as we prepared for this, prepared for this broadcast. So if there aren't any questions, what?
Jeff wants to know if it's necessary to cut the ends of the asparagus stalks.
7 trouble. Come on, bring it to it. Oh, you mean so on the opposite end of the head, right? I always do. I always cut the little pieces that they're white, but it's not absolutely necessary. There's nothing wrong with those. I just cut them off for two reasons. One, to make all my asparagus even. That's just I don't know, baby thing I might have to cut them all and make them even. But it's not necessary. You don't have to do that.
Nora says, oh, that's the timer. But Nora says she's having tilapia for dinner and wished that you could be there cooking for her tonight.
I wish that I could be too, because you're going to love this. All right, so the timer's gone off. We're going to pull off. Now, this is the hardest part about cooking with vapor technology is no heat. Okay, you can't heat because it kind of defeats the purpose of everything. So I know it's going to be different. A lot of people like to cook with a glass top lid, but I guarantee you, you're going to love it. It's going to be perfect every time. Your vegetables are going to be perfect. Your chicken, your fish, everything. All right, I know. Look at that. All right, so that's right. Thank you, Jamie, for the effect. So everything, look at that, is perfectly, look, it just flakes right off, perfectly cooked. It looks beautiful. Now, when you plate this for your family, I would recommend that you use not a spoon, but a spatula, and a slotted spatula at that, kind of like the one that I have right here. That way, a lot of the juice can drip through the spatula as you're putting it on the plate. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to cut one of these.
I have a quick question for
Yes.
you. Can you use different fish?
Great question. I totally meant to say something about that. Now, tilapia we use. It's an inexpensive fish. It's a good tasting fish. It's a mild tasty fish, so some people don't like something with a lot of fishy taste to it. So it's kind of a fish that will appeal to a wide range of people. When I want to kick it up, when I want to take it just to a whole other level, I'll go down to Whole Foods and I'll get some Chilean sea bass, and holy smokes, okay? You put some Chilean sea bass in here, and it's going to blow your mind. It is so good. But I've also done it with salmon. I recommend that if you do it with salmon, do it without the skin on. So sometimes you can buy it and it has the skin on one side. I would recommend that you get skinless salmon. You can even do this. Okay, I'm going to blow your mind right now. You can even do this with frozen fish. You don't have to thaw it out first. Come home and you say, oh my gosh, I forgot to thaw the fish. Throw them in there, the frozen flakes. I will tell you though, one thing, if you do that, it is going to be just a tad bit soupier than if you would have done it with thawed out fish. But you can still do it, and it doesn't change the time at all. That's
good. Yeah.
Chilean sea bass. Blow your mind. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and. If I was serving this to Jamie, she would have said right there, go back into that piece of mine, that little piece right
That doesn't even sound like me.
there. And I'm going to give you just a little tip on how to eat this.
More salsa.
I'm going to give you a little tip on how to eat it, okay? When you eat this dish, you have to take a bite of the fish and a bite of the stuff under it, and you got to put it in your mouth all at the same time. I know that you're saying, I want to eat it the way I want to eat it. That's totally fine. I'm telling you though, when you put all the flavor of the salsa, the corn, the spinach, and the fish all together, that's really the way it's designed, and it is going to be so good. So that came out beautiful. Jamie, we're going to be speaking on this. Kiki's in the other room. Kiki, who's piece right there. But glad that came out. So, I'm going to put the lid back on here. So there you have it. It's quick. It's easy. It doesn't get any easier than that. Salsa, spinach, corn, black beans, tilapia, spices, in a cold pan on medium, and you're done. Okay? While we were talking, I made dinner for 4. Can you believe that? While we were talking, I made dinner for 4. All right, so to recap, there's a lot of one-pan meals in our cookbook that you can take advantage of. Go to 360cookware.com, take a look at that. If you're interested in cooking healthier, okay, I'm not saying cooking. I'm not talking Brussels sprouts and going on a diet, and I'm not talking about that. I'm talking just cooking whole, healthy, fresh food. If you're interested in that, if you're interested in it not taking a lot of time, okay, if you're interested in it tasting good, I mean really tasting good in less time, and as an added bonus, the environment is not affected, and our supply chain employs over 9,000 Americans. Okay, so every time you buy a piece of 360 cookware, you keep that supply chain going, and 9,000 Americans have a job and growing. If you're interested in those things, then 360 cookware is for you. And I highly recommend it. Like I said, I eat on it every night, and I don't just do that because I work here. So let me tell you, don't go anywhere because we have a great offer coming up for you. But I want to take just a second to talk about our next show. Okay, April's going to be a big month for us. We're going to be talking about our bakeware. Look at this guy. Okay, this is our large cookie sheet. And I know a lot of people don't think too much of, you're not thinking too much about cookie sheets. Hey, I got 5 cookie sheets in the cupboard, right? But I guarantee you, go to your cupboard right now, most of your cookie sheets are warped. Okay, most of your cookie sheets have some kind of coating on them that's half scratched off right now. I know that to be true because if I looked in the part of my cupboard, I would find that same thing. This cookie sheet is platted, okay? What does that mean? It's just like our cookware. It's got T304 stainless steel on the outside, platted with aluminum on the inside, to give you an overall heating element that's completely uniform. So what that means to you, a couple things. If you have cookies all over here, we're going to show you this on the 9th of April. The cookie that's right here is going to cook just as evenly as the cookie that's right here. And as these get heated up, you can start moving through cookies faster than you can believe. So we're going to talk about this particular cookie sheet and our entire line of bakeware, kind of our biggest kept secret. So you're not going to want to miss that. But more than that, stop laughing, Jamie. But more than that, coming up on the 23rd of April is our Cinco de Mayo show. And I'm super excited about this because I have a handed-down chorizo bean dip recipe that is not to be missed, okay? But we're not just going to make chorizo bean dip. We're also going to be taking the leftover jalapeno sauce, and we're going to be making a jalapeno salsa. We're going to want to be there for that. We're going to be cooking that in our 4-quart slow cooker. This is our best-selling item, bar none. So if you've never seen that before, go to the website and check it out. Our 4-quart slow cooker. This is not to be missed.
Tim,
yes.
We have a question from Melinda that's related to the slow cooker.
Yes, Melinda.
She wants to know when's the best time to put the cookware directly on the stove and when's the best time to put it on the base.
Okay, so good question. Depending on the recipes you're doing, if you're doing meat, what seems to stand out for everybody with our slow cooker is that you get to brown your meat on the stove. And so you get that crusty, the stuff that sticks to the bottom of the pan. Now, on conventional slow cookers, you would have to take the meat out, leaving behind all that good, crusty stuff on the bottom of the pan that normally would be glazed in the slow cooker. You got to leave that behind. But with ours, you take the whole pan after you brown your meat, and you move it to the slow cooker, and then you add your slow cooker ingredients. So to answer your question, I would say the best time to move it is when you're done with the main part of browning the meat. If you're putting meat in there, and you're going to start to add the slow cooker ingredients, the liquids, and what else is going to be cooking for a long period. So for the bean dip, like I was saying, I brown the chorizo first on the stove, and then I add the beans and then move it to the slow cooker. So April 9th, bakeware, cookie sheets. April 23rd, Cinco de Mayo, chorizo bean dip and jalapeno salsa. If you like spicy, also good thing for you. Now, as always, we have an offer for you tonight. We're going to offer you 15% off this pan, the 3.5 quart saute pan, and that offer is good through
Friday at midnight.
Friday at midnight. Okay, so dial for dollars until Friday at midnight. Now you need a code, so grab a pen and get a piece of paper. The code for this specific offer is one pan. And it's all one word, ONEPAN, one pan. The one pan meal with the one pan, see how we have that all linked together. That's how we roll here at 360.
See what you did there.
What's that? So 15% off to midnight on Friday. Don't lose out on the opportunity to grab a hold of this pan and try the tilapia. And then also, for those of you who already have the pan and if you're going to try the tilapia, let us know how it goes. Come to us on Facebook or Twitter and let us know how the recipe turned out and anything else that we could do on the show to make things better or easier for you. If there's anything that you'd like to see us go over on the show that we're not going over. We have shows scheduled all the way up to October, so you can go to our website and check that out too, so you can make sure that you're not missing it. I know that we send out enough emails so that you don't nobody's missing it, but to see what we're going to be doing throughout the year to do that. Any other questions before? I think we're at just about our time.
We're past time, but that's okay.
Nothing else?
We'll stay on as long as anybody has a question. Yeah. If anybody has any other questions, if not, see them on the 9th.
All right, folks, listen, it's been our pleasure to be here with you tonight. Thanks so much for coming on and listening to the tilapia and learning about 360 cookware. We're excited to have you on our team and to be able to interact with you in this way. So Jamie and I signing off from 360 Headquarters, where we want your food to taste good. Good night.
Good night.